Hello again, Steve here with a few comments about what's been going on with Alex Jones. Now, I don't know for sure what's going on with him because I've been out in the boonies for quite a while on a job and not watching YouTube channels and so on, so I don't know a whole lot except from what I've been hearing, that he's been banned from YouTube or off YouTube or purged from YouTube, whatever it is. Now, I don't think anybody in the freedom movement that I would generally call Alec as being a part of, or Alex as most people call him, I think. Where I come from, they would call him Alec. Anyway, that's aside. But I don't think anybody in the freedom movement is surprised that Alex was banned from YouTube, because this is a progression that the censoring people or the left or whatever anybody wants to call them goes in, right? They go after things incrementally and to see what they get away with. I mean, see what happened with Tommy Robinson and, Michael Savage. Don't forget Michael Savage, banned from England years ago for talking about a certain religion. So I don't think anybody is surprised that he has been, but there is quite a pushback because, when we know these things are inevitable, when the radicals, the evil radicals, devil incarnate, I would call them, the devil incarnate nature of man to want to control others, right? Let's make no mistake about it. Anybody who wants to counter freedom of speech of any type wants to counter freedom, right? Anybody who stands against freedom stands for some form of slavery, some sort of control of their fellow man. They somehow feel that they have the right to control somebody else. And this is what's going on. This is going to go on. So it's always a war of the righteous against the demonically possessed individuals, or whatever I would say. And this is what's happened. So we see these things one thing after another. It's almost every couple of weeks a major character, a major player within within this generally larger movement. It started out much slower, right? I mean, going back to when things like this happened to Michael Savage, we're going back 10 years ago when he was banned from England. And now all of a sudden there's people banned from England, it seems like, on the so-called right, almost every couple of months, right? And as an example, England's sort of just a litmus test of this, but the things are happening everywhere where people are standing up for truth. And whenever that happens, there's a huge amount of pushback. And this goes back, this is human trait, right? Because humans want to control their turf, right? And most people are animalistic in their nature, right? They are going off of the incentive of fear or gain, right? Not principle based whatsoever. So an animal, it sees what it wants, it just chases it down and kills it, right? It doesn't ask, should it do that? What's the feelings of the other person or whatever. That's the human nature. That's the humanity that we have. But there's a lot of people who operate outside of a human spectrum, I would say, very much in an animal nature. And a person like Alex Jones is a threat to their turf, right? He is basically stealing away their viewership. He is speaking truth to power. He is exposing what's going on in the mainstream media. He's exposing what's going on in government and all these sorts of things. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Alex Jones, although, I have been aware of him. He's a good friend of Michael Savage. I was a follower of some of the stuff that Michael Savage was doing way back in the 90s. And, I remember hearing, the first time I probably ever heard of Alex Jones was on the Michael Savage show. So he's a pioneer for sure, and he's got a lot of sort of showbiz to him, you might say, in terms of his flamboyancy and whatnot. But nevertheless, if there is freedom of speech, the guy's got to be able to say it, right? And but he's not, apparently, and this is inevitable. But I'm glad to see that, there's a silver lining that comes from all of this. The more and more people who see in real time those who speak up against the authoritarians and get whacked down like whack-a-mole, the more people see this and the more people who care about it, the more difference we're going to make in the world, I think. The more apparent it's going to be that we actually have freedom, that we actually express our freedoms. The more important it is to express our freedoms. Because if lots of people express their freedoms, then this would go away. I just thought of something really cool, because Donald Trump is sort of an agitating figure within the freedom movement, I would say. I said that right from the very get-go, from the time he announced his candidacy, that either he was an opportunist to the movement because he had spoke at some of the freedom fests and so on, or he genuinely believes in this. And if he genuinely believes in this, I think there's going to come a time, if he genuinely believes in it, that he's just gonna troll big time. He's already probably the world's greatest troll, but he's gonna troll big time. He should open up like the I don't know, the Trump Infowar YouTube channel or whatever, and openly dare YouTube to ban him. And what would be funny about that, I think, is that he could have Alex Jones on as a frequent guest, and that'd be hilarious, because when YouTube would ban him, well, that would be extremely obvious, and a lot of people would see that. Anyways, if there's a glitch in this video, it's because I'm on low battery, so I'll end it here, and hopefully be able to post more stuff more regularly. Steve here again, great chatting. Talk again soon. If you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share, and talk to you soon. Bye now.